EA, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Getting set for all the action on what my idol Vin Scully would have said was a beautiful state. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting ready at Wetlands Golf and Country Club. An interesting layout, Frank. The players are ready to go, and what are you thinking about as you get set to tee off?
Well, you're thinking about you're going to play a long golf course, sort of mid-7,000 yard range, but this is a golf course that you actually do get to hit your driver more often than not. So it's a good driving golf course. Green's relatively flat as well, but be careful if you're a little weak of heart. Look left or right, you might see the odd gator or two.
This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the seagulls are walking to work. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Good par. Par 4 11th hole, 443 yards. Frank, what's the best way to play it?
Nice straight drive off the tee, then really reduces this par 4 to size. Then those bunkers short and left don't really cause an issue. Green's a little tiny though, but even if you miss that green a little bit on the right side, it's a relatively simple chip.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Second shot, good look at the green. Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. So close. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Just hammered that par putt, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking or what was going through his mind right there, but he better wake up in a hurry, because if this one doesn't go in, his score's going to rack up very quickly.
He's made it. Stepping up to the tee at the first par 5 on this back nine. It's the 12th, and it is 576 yards.
Yeah, this hole bends to the right, opposite direction to what 11 does. A good tee shot, and you can actually think about reaching this par 5 and 2, but anything around the front or front left, still going to leave a relatively simple pitch shot. So when you stand on that tee, think of birdie at least here.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Just the tap in to finish the hole. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Now to the par 4 13th. Frank, what are the options here?
Well, another straight one required here, Rich. It's 450. It's not overly long in today's standard, but still, that fairway widens up where the longer hitters will actually hit. And bunkers, once again, short of a green. So as long as you can fly that second shot to at least the front of the green, then they really do not come into play.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds. That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Frank going for 2 in a row now. Has it. Now to 7 under for the tournament. Moving on to the tricky 14th here at the Wetlands. It's 204 yards, but there is plenty of trouble out there. This one's looking good. Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Locked in on the read and the speed. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. The last par 5 on this golf course is the 15th. It's 590 yards. You think, Frank, this is the time to be aggressive?
Certainly is. Longer hitters must be licking their chops on this par 5. 300-plus yard tee shot, you can definitely get home. Shorter hitters, just set it up for a nice wedge shot. But if you are going to go at this par 5 and 2, well protected by those 3 bunkers.
That's in the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. You can't ask for much more than that. About 5 feet away. Beautifully done. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold. Very bold.
That is a solid par putt. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the BioWare Classic.
Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. That's another green hit in regulation, and that has been the story all day, just wearing out the center of that club face. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That was not a very good read right there. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green, but there's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So a tricky little par 3.
He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Can't wait to write those on the card. 1 below par. Chalk it up. It's a birdie. The 9th hole, Frank, is a muscular par 5, 621 yards.
You see why length is a huge advantage of this golf course, just under 7,700 yards. This hole here, another example, good tee shot, perhaps think of going for the par 5 and 2, but a great collection of 3 bunkers that sort of annoy you with your layup there. Got to make sure you avoid all of those to leave yourself a nice little wedge shot in here if you can't reach it in 2.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Now our featured golfer setting up for another approach. Really needs to get something going here, Frank.
And that green right now must look like the size of a thimble.
Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that 3rd shot.
Yeah, just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Oh, what an incredible shot. Finishing up the front side here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club with a par 5, 621 yards. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. Getting set now over the putt. And drops it in. Moving on to the par 4 11th, just a little bit more than 440 yards. Par 4 11th, Frank, we're looking at 443 yards.
Yeah, the Wetlands Golf Course is a really good driving course. This is another example here, Rich, where the fairway's just wide enough to award a good tee shot, and then those two bunkers don't really come into play. But Wetlands becomes very difficult when you just start to stray a little bit off the fairway. Then you start to see why those bunkers are put there.
Making it look easy at this point. Another beautiful approach shot. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Are you kidding me?
That looked like it was in.
Nudge this one home. Finish it up. Did the job right there. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports with the PGA Tour proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the BioWare Classic.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Wow, that is a monster drive down there. About 315 yards.
Second shot.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. Safely aboard.
Even par, currently.
Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Making our move to the home stretch, the 16th. It's a par 4 and a good one at 455 yards.
And a chance to actually get a good run for the clubhouse because the holes are fairly short coming in. So good drive here. Find the putting surface. Maybe start the roll right here.
Good strike. Good lie. Good chance to attack the pin. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself that it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Final hole here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. It's par 4. It's not a long one, 377 yards. There must be some trouble out there somewhere.
Well, not really if you keep your wits about you. Just position the tee shot. You don't have to hit driver down here. Even a 3-wood's only going to leave a short iron. If you hit the 3-wood 250, 260 yards, do the maths, it's only 120 yards left. With that, with a scoring club, try and get that inside 10, 15 feet. Finish with a birdie.
But if you stray, then what?
Oh, no. We don't think of straying on this hole. This is the last hole. Got to finish well.
But I'm thinking about gators. Are there gators out there?
Well, there's gator on the menu.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Good putt. Just a fantastic week of golf. Add that one to the win count.
A lot of great quality players out there, and to come on top of that leaderboard is truly a great accomplishment.